Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. According to General Hospital teasers, Sonny Corinthos might be in shock over Giovanni Gio Palmieri's health issue. Will the next peril befall Sonny's secret grandson? By this time, Sonny is sick of seeing the people he loves end up in danger because of him. Sonny is committed to providing a safer life for his loved ones, because Michael Corinthos almost died in that penthouse explosion. Sonny intends to leave the mob for this reason. But first he must identify the person attempting his murder and eliminate his enigmatic foe. Regretfully, before Sonny can remove the menace, someone else might end up in risk. The identity of the someone may have been hinted to by Tracy Quartermaine. Tracy had some comments in the April 28th episode of GH that seemed quite foreboding. Although Tracy cautioned Gio that Sonny was a dangerous man, she contended that if Sonny were in Joe's life, he would be exposed to that danger. Gio obviously didn't believe that his relationship with Uncle Sonny would put him in danger, but Tracy persisted in trying to warn him of the dangers that lay ahead. Are you aware of what happens to those Sonny attracts into his world? They either wind up in jail or the dirt. Tracy persisted. And if that happened to you, it would destroy me. Imagine Tracy's reaction when she learns that Gio is her great-grandson, if she is already this close to him. A Gio medical crisis plotline that transforms everything is already in the works. Naturally, Gio is appreciative of Sonny for being his patron and providing him with unwavering support throughout the years. Gio views Sonny as family and is in his sphere of influence, even if he is unaware that Sonny is his grandfather. Tracy's danger warning is alarming because of this, particularly in light of the real threat to Sonny's life that is getting worse. Similar to Michael, Gio might be hurt by Sonny if he happens to be in the wrong location at the wrong moment. The truth regarding Joe's parentage may even be revealed in this way. Lois Cerullo may have to come honest in an attempt to find Gio a match because Gio may require some kind of medical gift. In any case, Sonny worries that he may bring harm to his loved ones, and Tracy is essentially concerned about the same thing. Tracy's projections regarding the risks could come true because Gio might be the next person in line for some Sonny-related danger. Sonny and everyone else who cares about Gio may experience some frightening times, but Gio will live through whatever is ahead. Just as Brooklyn Quartermaine and Dante Falconeri think they're going to lose their son, they may learn the truth. Stay back for updates on all the commotion, as General Hospital spoilers indicate that some startling Gio news is developing nonetheless. Carly told Jason that Sonny was doing okay in California, but there was a dubious nurse in his bedside, giving him a dubious 4 injection. Sonny awoke abruptly, glanced at the nurse and fell asleep. Brick entered at that moment and demanded to see identification. Brick was directly on top of the nurse as she produced a gun, and he pulled his own first, killing the nurse. While the nurse was sprawled across Sonny's knees, Brick summoned someone to take the body away. Carly panicked out when she entered and realized what was happening, but Brick told her to keep her voice down. Brick remarked, "We got a little situation." Brick led Carly into the hallway and explained that he suspected something was wrong after he noticed blood near a supply closet, went inside, and discovered an injured nurse. Carly was taken aback when Jack unexpectedly showed there a few minutes later. Brick apparently called that person. Jack decided to stop by and provide a hand since he was already en route to Los Angeles for a meeting. Sonny imagined while he lay unconscious that he was back in Port Charles and that Mike was serving him at Kelly's. Even the old Kelly's sign was there. After giving his father a hug, Sonny remarked, "I can't believe it's been 5 years. When you're having fun, time flies," Mike remarked. Mike reassured Sonny that he was still alive. "The surgery was a complete success, but they sedated you pretty good, so I saw it as an opportunity for a visit," said Ghost Mike. Sonny's only response was, "You were right about all of it." Sonny gave Ghost Mike an explanation of his position. "I ought to have left the company a long time ago. You told me to leave how many times?" "Dad," Sonny continued, "I should have paid attention to you." The ghost Sonny turned into a mobster, and Mike blamed himself for it. As a child, he wasn't there for him. Sonny clarified that he has been considering leaving the company for some time. "It has been gradually catching up with me. What transpired with Michael was the final straw. I'm to blame." Sonny, with tears in his eyes, remarked, Someone came after me and Michael paid for it. Michael has been caught in the crossfire before, but this must be the final time. The final time, Sonny continued. Sonny bemoaned to Ghost Mike. I'm in a trap of my own making and I can't find a way out that's going to keep my family safe. Ghost Mike was confused when Sonny revealed that Jason also desired to go. Son, I apologize, he remarked. I wish I had an answer for you. Ghost Mike was confident Sonny could solve this on his own. Tracy demanded in the Q Solarium that Gio register to vote in Port Charles in order to participate in the referendum. Gio responded, my uncle Sonny owns those peers. Gio was asked to read a particular web page by Tracy. You might think twice about supporting Sonny, she stated. After reading it, Gio said it was either fake news or a total hit piece. Gio was enraged. It paints Uncle Sonny to be some criminal mastermind, he stated. It struck Tracy as being rather realistic, and she admitted to collaborating with a committee to divest Sonny of his waterfront property. Gio was curious as to why. Because it stops Sonny from doing business, and I'm not talking about the coffee business, Tracy replied. Gio, I have lived in Port Charles a lot longer than you, and I have seen the violence and crime he has brought to this city and to this family, Tracy said. Gio became irate as he mentioned all that Sonny had done for him over the years. Tracy didn't want Gio to be exposed to Sonny's danger though. Are you aware of the consequences for those Sonny attracts into his world? They either wind up in jail or the dirt. And if anything were to happen to you, it would destroy me, Tracy said. Gazing over the commitment documents, Alexis questioned Molly and Christina about their source. Molly clarified that her files had become confused with Diane's. The second I saw what it was, I went straight to Christina, said Molly. Christina refused to listen to Alexis's attempt to clarify herself. Everything is in black and white, Christina remarked. You think I'm crazy and I need to be committed. Christina thought Molly had discovered the documents first, but Alexis clarified that she never signed or filed them. Alexis requested a private conversation with Christina, but both girls declined. Alexis had to speak in code as a result. I don't think anyone can deny how difficult this past year has been for Christina, she stated. She stated that she chose not to sign the documents since she saw Christina's growth during their girls' night. Molly and Christina pleaded with her to explain why she had chosen to have these documents prepared at this time. When Alexis said, "Because you left me no choice," she exploded. That Alexis would point the finger at Christina infuriated Molly. Alexis murmured hazily, "Molly, your sister is not doing as well as you think. I got the sense that you were covering, that you were saying all the right things but not feeling them," Alexis said. Christina was upset that Alexis seemed to have forgotten that she had attempted to murder someone just a few weeks prior, and had not given any thought to what she desired. Molly was left to throw Alexis shady looks as Christina left. She walked out of the office after berating her mother for attempting to control Christina's life. Alexis was given an enigmatic parcel once she was by herself. She discovered the notorious dagger inside a package when she opened it. As she described how terribly Irene had messed up, Christina went directly to her grave and kept calling her Adela. "I made a terrible mistake. I injured Rick and Elizabeth when I attempted to kill Ava," Christina said at the grave of a stillborn child. When Trina and Kai saw Curtis at the Savoy, they were taken aback. He emphasized that the property was still his. Kai requested a brief conversation with Curtis. He apologized for seeking his opinion on the procedure, but he disregarded it. "It was no big thing," Curtis said. He acknowledged Kai's independent thought. When they met, Trina confided in Emma that she was anxious about Kai's operation, which was set for the following day. For Kai's sake, Emma urged Trina to maintain her optimism. At that moment, Professor Dalton showed up. He asked to talk to Emma alone and simply wanted to say hello, reminding her that it could help her get the job as a research assistant. Dalton inquired about the progress of her extra credit work. Emma kept sucking up to the professor, telling him how much she enjoyed his most recent talk. But Emma headed straight for her friend when Gio texted to ask her to meet him at the QS. A man wearing a hoodie grabbed Jocelyn as she was moving along an unfamiliar, dim passageway. She discovered that the man was Vaughn after he released her. He wanted to know how Joss was doing in her attempt to get a job as Professor Dalton's new research assistant. According to Joss, she was making every effort, but the competition is stiff. Vaughn reprimanded Joss, saying that Jocelyn's role as Dalton's assistant was crucial to the mission's success. "I can't snap my fingers and become his assistant," Joss said. Vaughn suggested that Jocelyn take a unique approach. Felicia texted Jordan as soon as she entered the Savoy to let her know that she and Anna would be late. Jordan and Curtis took a seat. Jordan informed Curtis that, for the sake of appearance, she was now attempting to get along with Drew. When Anna eventually showed up, she went straight to the bar, where Dalton quickly got her a drink. When Dalton revealed to her that he was a college professor who had recently relocated from the Bay Area, she became rather intrigued. Brad gave Portia several files including Drew's whole medical history since coming to Port Charles, including his Jake Doe files at the hospital. Then Portia informed Brad that she had another task for him. When Portia said, "I need you to get me ketamine." "Good for you," said Brad. "I didn't know that's how you roll, Chief," he continued. Brad hesitated, but an irate Portia maintained it wasn't for her. If she didn't comply with his request, she threatened to terminate him. Brad followed instructions and gave Portia the ketamine. Sonny was left reeling as he tried to comprehend the terrible turn of events after learning of Joe's unexpected medical crisis. Gio, a man who had unexpectedly but crucially become a part of Sonny's life, was now struggling to survive, and the situation was weighing down on him like an insurmountable load. As Sonny strode back and forth through the seemingly interminable hospital hallways, his mind was racing with unresolved questions and nagging remorse. How could things have gotten so out of hand? Did he have any responsibility for this? The physician's solemn voices and solemn faces did little to calm his mounting fear. However, Joe's illness was only part of the horror. Like a ghost of previous transgressions returning to haunt him, the discovery of a secret grandson, a child Sonny had never even knew existed, loomed large over him. Young and defenseless, the youngster had been thrown into the middle of a risky game that Sonny had been trying to protect his family from for years. The idea that whomever was responsible for Joe's abrupt fall might now be targeting the child made Sonny feel even more terrified. His gaze went back to his own past mistakes. The bad deals, the enemies, and the loved ones caught in the crossfire. Despite his vow to never allow history to repeat itself, he found himself on the brink of yet another catastrophe. Sonny had only recently discovered about the boy's mother, who was terrified and showed her mistrust of him in every wary look. There was a reason she had kept the child a secret, and now it was glaring at them all. Danger lurked behind Sonny like a shadow. Sonny's fists were locked at his sides as he waited outside Joe's hospital room, listening to the heart monitor's constant beep. Whoever did this would be held accountable. He had to first make sure his grandson, a youngster who had not yet seen him, was secure. Every second mattered and time was running out. He couldn't wait, and neither could his foes who lurked in the shadows. More than ever, the burden of responsibility weighed heavily on him. His motivation had always been to protect his family, but the stakes had never been higher now that an innocent life was in the line of fire. Would history repeat itself in the worst possible way, or would he be able to save them both? While Emma said it was only a coincidence, Anna didn't buy it. Emma has developed a strong desire to work as Dalton's research assistant. Interestingly, newcomer WSB agent Jocelyn Jack Aiden McCoy is also fixated on this post, but that's because it's tied to her first mission. Could Emma and Joss's fixation on Dalton be a coincidence too? Is Emma a WSB or DVX agent? Is Emma a WSB agent? And can the agency have two agents working on the same mission to assure success? Is Joss Emma's backup? Emma got into a lot of problems back in California, so the WSB may believe that a Plan B is needed as an insurance policy. However, it wouldn't be surprising if Jocelyn is being deceived by Jack Brennan. Anna went to great lengths along back, tossing Brennan and warning him not to approach her grandchild. This may have been a too little, too late threat. Perhaps Brennan had previously approached Emma and provided her with a WSB offer. There's also the possibility that she was recruited while attending university in California. Emma has a multitude of reasons to harbor a grudge against the WSB, so it wouldn't be surprising if she works for DVX instead. Emma's grandmother Anna, grandfather Robert Scorpio, and great-uncle Max Scorpio have all passed down superspy expertise to her. Nina Reeves' plan to break up Drew Kane and Willow Tate Corinthos may have worked like a charm. Hiring escort Jacinda to drug the congressman was flawlessly executed. But as fans know all too well, secrets never stay secrets for long. According to General Hospital spoilers, certain recent occurrences may have fans wondering if Christina Corinthos Davis would grab Helena Cassidy's dagger and try to kill Ava Jerome again. Fans of GH will recall Jen Sidwell summoning Alexis Davis to Windmere and pressuring her to take Helena's knife with her. Despite picking up the dagger during her visit, Alexis eventually decided she didn't want to deal with it and left. Sidwell appeared to be attempting to preserve Alexis' fingerprints at the moment, giving the impression that he was planning to frame her for a crime. However, now that Sidwell has delivered the blade to Alexis' office, the tale appears to be taking a turn. Sidwell acted as if he didn't feel right retaining it based on the note he provided, but there's clearly an agenda at work. If nothing else, Sidwell may like the thought of rattling Alexis and having her feel plagued by her past. This is the same dagger Helena used on Alexis' mother, and it might now be used to target someone else. Christina Corinthos Davis is unaware that Ava Jerome is blackmailing Alexis, but Alexis cannot keep the truth hidden for long. When Christina and Molly Lansing Davis approached Alexis about the documents to have Christina committed, she chose not to reveal the truth, but this does not imply the truth will remain hidden. Christina will eventually see Alexis is genuinely attempting to protect her daughter. Alexis only considered locking Christina up in a psychiatric facility as a possible legal defense. All of this is happening because Christina attempted to cut the brakes on Ava's automobile, resulting in an accident with Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Baldwin in the passenger seat. Unfortunately, it does not appear that Christina has completely learned her lesson. Christina's fury at Alexis' actions shown that she is unwilling to accept responsibility or recognize the gravity of her error. Christina's forecast that she will let go of her Ava vendetta is unlikely to come true. The show has also consistently hinted that Christina may go after Ava again, if she receives updates on the blackmail plot. Ava dismissed the persistent threat when Rick warned her, perhaps setting herself up for a disastrous situation. What happens when Christina finds out that Ava is blackmailing Alexis? Could that throw Christina off the deep end, causing her to grab the dagger in another attempt to wipe Ava off the map? According to General Hospital spoilers, Christina requires serious mental health care, so this plot could pave the way for her to visit Ferncliff. There was a lot of activity at General Hospital today, Friday, May 2, 2025. If you missed it, here's a quick recap below. It appears that practically the whole PCU community has decided to gather on the beach for an evening bonfire. Danny Morgan persuaded Rocco Falconeri to go even though they were still in high school. They grab some of the spiked punch to fit in, and although Danny simply holds his cup, Rocco consumes it and requests another. They eventually separate up, and Rocco passes out on the beach alone. Meanwhile, Emma Drake and Gio Palmieri run across Jocelyn Jacks at the beach. Vaughn just happens to be getting out of the water and drying himself nearby. He advises that they go into the water. Emma and Gio decide to go in, giving Joss the opportunity to remove the flash disk from Emma's pocket. After corrupting it, she must regain control of it to return it to Professor Dalton. The nurses' ball planning is in full swing. Lucy Coe, Maxie Jones and Lois Cerullo are at Deception's offices discussing plans for the nurses' ball. They discuss the usual turmoil and how they need to keep Carly Spencer out of it. Lois asks Maxie how her daughter is doing at work. She tells her she is okay, but she knows something is bothering her. A little while later, Brooke Lynn Quartermain arrives, and Maxie inquires as to her well-being. BLQ informs her that she must choose between her side and Lulu Spencer's, because she cannot truly trust her if she continues to be Lulu's friend. Drew undergoes a drug test, while Carly congratulates Nina on a job well done. Drew Kane enticed Willow Corinthos to accompany him to GH for a drug test. He wants to show her that he was not in his right mind when he was caught with an escort. His results indicate that he had ketamine in his system. Willow now has to decide if she believes he was drugged, or if he partied too hard during her absence. Willow departs as Drew resolves to make a police report. Meanwhile, Carly comes up on Nina Reeves' doorway to compliment her work with Drew. Getting the escort to spike his drink was the perfect plan, and Drew crumbled all on his own. Nina expresses how heartbroken she was to bring Willow suffering, yet knowing that it was necessary. Willow's entrance interrupts the ladies' discussion of different scenarios for what could happen next. General Hospital recap May 2nd. Beach party trouble and Willow believes Drew. Brooke Lynn tells Tracy nearly everything about her son. Tracy Quartermain had to go back and fill in the blanks for her grandmother after BLQ revealed to her that she had given up a child for adoption as a teenager. Brooke Lynn gives her the entire narrative, with the exception of revealing who the father is. She also describes how Lulu has been attempting to devastate her life ever since she found out. Tracy is incredibly supportive of her granddaughter, and a little heartbroken that Brooke Lynn was reluctant to tell her the truth. Tracy is alone in the room when Lois enters. Tracy asks her directly where her great-grandson is. General Hospital recap May 2nd. Beach party trouble and Willow believes Drew. Dante is still in love with Lulu. Dante Falconeri is debating with Lulu over the adoption piece she's working on. He asks her not to do it as a favor for him, because all of her interfering is harming Brooke Lynn. Lulu rejects since it is about her job and regaining her footing as a journalist. The subject goes to Lulu's recent conduct, and Dante admits that he knows she is still in love with him. Lulu confirms it and reveals that before her coma, she was on her way to tell him she wanted to see him again. She says that she is jealous of Sam since Dante is still in love with him. He admits that he loves Sam, and Dante adds that he still loves Lulu. General Hospital spoilers are available for Monday, May 5th, 2025. Fans should expect Brad Cooper to collect in the following episode. Tracy Quartermain blows up at Lois Cerullo. Furthermore, Rocco Falconeri passes out after drinking at a college party. Was it the alcohol? Or could something else be going on? Emma Scorpio Drake's discovery. Emma Scorpio Drake stripped down to go swimming after Vaughn made a big move. That provided Jocelyn Jacks with an excellent opportunity to remove the thumb drive from Emma's pocket. However, Joss needed to corrupt the file and return it. Read more. Find out what happened in the last episode of GH. Emma had just returned from her swim and found that the thumb drive was missing. Of course, Gio and perhaps others will volunteer to assist Emma in her search. It may be suggested that it dropped out of her pocket when Jocelyn took it. This is the moment for Jocelyn to leave it on the ground and let someone else find it. Sure, Joss might say she found it, but it would make her appear suspicious, given she's gunning after the same position as Emma. Willow take Corinthos doubt. Willow will ask Nina Reeves a question. The nurse wonders if her mother thinks she's an idiot for believing Drew Kane. Nina will, of course, do her best to support her daughter, but Drew was immediately subjected to a drug test. So, now that Drew has discovered the ketamine in his system, he will look for the person who administered it to him. In a preview clip, Drew discusses the matter with Max Scorpio. Drew may be innocent in this case, but he has committed numerous other crimes. If Willow actually trusted Drew, she would not be questioning her mother's intelligence. Willow, grab your kids and run. Bradley Cooper's collection. According to General Hospital spoilers, Portia Robinson has had a long-standing advantage over Brad. However, it appears that Brad has something against the nice doctor. Brad will most likely cover for Portia, but he will expect a large payment in exchange. In fact, the promo film shows Brad informing someone that he is there to collect. Monday, May 5th, 2025. Lulu Spencer reacted to Dante Falconeri's statements. Tracy screams furious at Lois and demands to know where her great-grandson is. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer expresses her regrets to someone via tears. Also, what is Rocco's fate? It's improbable that one cup of liquor caused him to pass out so suddenly. Perhaps an undisclosed medical problem? Or was the alcohol contaminated with something? Drew Kane's situation is rapidly deteriorating, and if he does not act quickly, he may lose everything. Drew doesn't know it, but the escort that he had partied with put some ketamine into his drink at the Port Charles Grill, and his entire life will blow up because of it. General Hospital spoilers. Drew drank, kissed and did body shots off of Jacinda at the Savoy as cameras rolled. The congressman had a great day at the Savoy with his new friend Jacinda. He crashed into the club, kissing and hanging all over her before saying, "Time for body shots." Lulu Spencer filmed Drew doing body shots off Jacinda's tummy on top of the bar as the morning's top story. Jordan Ashford attempted to persuade Drew to go before he went up in flames, but it was impossible. The congressman enjoyed the night of his life, as numerous Port Charles heavyweights watched in fear. General Hospital spoilers. Willow gets a good look at the man she's chosen over her husband. Willow Corinthos is scheduled to return from Germany the following morning, and you can bet that by the time she walks through her front door, she has already seen Drew's conduct. The reality is that he can't explain anything because he doesn't remember anything, but Willow is aware that it occurred because the tape has gone viral. She realizes she's made a tremendous mistake by moving herself and her children in with Drew. Willow plans to go back in with her mother, Nina Reeves, and Drew thinks he is losing control over her, so he decides to reveal a secret. General Hospital spoilers. Drew tells Willow that he slept with Nina. Drew believes that admitting to something, any type of secret, will help him gain Willow's trust, so he tells her about his relationship with her mother. He believes it will keep Willow from fleeing to live with Nina. If Willow doesn't trust the man in front of her, she isn't going to turn to her mother for help after discovering this lie by omission. General Hospital spoilers. Will Christina steal Helena's dagger to make another attempt on Ava's life? The drama in Port Charles never stops, and the most recent twist involving Christina Corinthos Davis has fans on the edge of their seats. Rumors circulate that Christina is planning another attempt on Ava Jerome's life, this time with Helena Cassadine's notorious dagger. The stakes could not be greater, as this weapon not only has fatal potential, but also a sordid history linked to one of Port Charles's most renowned families. If Christina follows through on this deadly plot, the consequences could spread throughout the village, disrupting alliances, relationships, and even long-buried truths. Christina's anger against Ava has been boiling for months, fueled by Ava's devious plots and the destruction she has done to individuals Christina cares about. Their hatred reached a boiling point when Ava's actions inadvertently caused substantial trauma in Christina's life, pushing her to the edge. Christina may consider Helena's dagger, a weapon steeped in history and mystique, as her opportunity to finally exact revenge. However, taking such a powerful item will be difficult, especially given the Cassadines' reputation for relentless preservation of their family's deadly heirlooms. Helena Cassadine's dagger is not your ordinary weapon. It has been the focus of various conspiracies, betrayals, and even murders over the years. Its sheer presence in Port Charles indicates risk, and if it falls into the wrong hands, or even the right ones with the wrong intentions, the results might be disastrous. For Christina, gaining the dagger would mean crossing a line she might not be able to recover from. While her rage at Ava is justifiable, taking such drastic measures may alienate her from her family, particularly her father, Sonny Corinthos, who has always walked a narrow line between justice and vengeance. Meanwhile, Ava remains dangerously oblivious of the impending menace. Despite her cunning, she has been busy with her own conflicts, such as her rocky relationship with Nicholas Cassadine and the ongoing power struggles within the Jerome family. If Christina steals the dagger and makes another attempt on Ava's life, she may shove Ava into a corner, making her even more unpredictable and dangerous than before. Ava has never been one to give up without a fight, and if she survives another assassination attempt, her revenge could be immediate and brutal. The involvement of the Cassadines complicates the simmering confrontation. Helena may be gone, but her legacy lives on, and her successors keep a close eye on things. If Christina takes the dagger, she may unintentionally attract the notice of Valentine, Nicholas, or even Spencer, all of whom have their own motivations for wanting to keep Cassadine treasures out of enemy hands. The dagger's past is fraught with bloodshed, and its power lies not just in its keen edge, but also in the secrets it may contain. Could this weapon be more than just what it appears to be? If Christina gets her hands on it, she might discover secrets that could further destabilize Port Charles. Then there's the matter of whether Christina will follow through on her plan. She has always been a passionate and impetuous character, but she has never committed murder. Would she actually kill Ava in cold blood? Or is this another of her emotionally charged impulses that she will abandon at the last moment? Her family, particularly her mother, Alexis Davis, would be crushed if she chose such a dark path. Alexis has spent years attempting to steer her girls away from the violent inclinations that have plagued their family, and Christina's plunge into retribution would be a terrible rejection of her efforts. However, if Christina does not go through with it, what does this signify for her future? Will she find another way to confront Ava? Or will her wrath fester, leading to more dramatic confrontations in the future? The tension between these two women has been building for far too long to simply dissipate, and their conflict, whether through violence or deception, is not over.